There are 3 key movements you need to master if you're going to move like a pro. I've got number 1 for you today. This is Maria from GoalieTrainingPro.com. I'm an exercise physiologist who helps you do the right training off the ice so you can win more games on the ice with fewer injuries. Let me show you what number 1 is. So the number 1 movement any goalie should do if they want to be able to move like a pro is a deep overhead squat. So pull my pants up a little bit so you don't see my underwear. So arms straight overhead, feet hip width apart. Toes can be slightly turned out, but not way turned out. And we're going to come right down, keeping that stick straight over your head, keeping your chest up nice and tall. You can see that it's a little bit of a struggle to get down there. I feel that sort of a stretch in the front of my hips, which sounds a little bit funny, and a bit of a stretch in through here. If you can't get that position, you can't nail it perfectly, here's where to start and here's what to work on so you can get it. So if you can't get that position, the first thing you need to work on is a quadruped rock back with your toes pulled up, keeping your torso flat to the floor, just sitting back in your hips, but still keeping your torso flat. So don't come up as you go. If you get here every time and then your back rounds, that's not it. It should improve over time. If it doesn't improve over time, then it's time to sort of get somebody to look at your hips to see how come, your hips get stuck and then you have to round your back. So only go as far as you can, keeping this nice and neutral. Don't let it round. That's where you would start. So when you get hung up on a deep overhead squat, the first 2 things we think are hips and ankles. So this is one to help, because if you can't get deep in your ankle in this flexion position, it's called dorsiflexion, then it's going to be really hard to get that deep squat. So what I'm going to have you do is come forward, use your body to sort of decrease this angle as much as you can, get as much flexion as you can. Then you're going to push your ball of your foot into the floor for 5 seconds. Then you're going to use this muscle in the front of your shin to try to lift up the ball of your foot and hold that position. And then you're going to rock back until the ball of your foot lifts off. So you can see there's a little bit of a deficit there. From here, I'm opening, and then my foot lifts off. That's called a mobility deficit. So we want to try to work on that and decrease that mobility deficit. The next thing we'll do is give ourselves a little helper. I'm just using a TRX. You could easily do this in a doorway, using a power rack, a chair, anything for a little support. But I'm just trying to use light support with it as I squat down. And I'm just using this to help me keep my chest up nice and tall in the bottom position. So I'm not kind of starting off water skiing on it and hanging off. The idea is that, if I let go, I wouldn't really want to fall on my bum. So I'm here, I've got that position, I'm finding my balance. I can even lift my hands a bit to put slack into that TRX to hold the position myself. If you're still having trouble getting down, just put something under your heels. It could be like a 10-pound plate or a 25-pound plate, something 1 inch to 2 inches in height to lift your heels, and you might find that lets you get down lower, and then you'll gradually decrease the height of that shim until you're flat-footed. So let's say you're doing pretty well. You can get down into your deep squat with your heels elevated a little bit. So then you're going to come down and you're going to add breathing to the equation. So you're going to get in your nice position, try to relax in your hips. You're going to breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, and breathe in as much air as you can, and then out through your mouth for 6 seconds. Now if that's a little much for you, you can just use the stick to, again, kind of help keep your chest up, breathing in through your nose for 4, all the air you can, out through your mouth for 6, breathing out all that air. And that's going to help open up your rib cage, mobilize your rib cage, give you a little more thoracic spine extension, help you get in that nice deep squat with your chest up. If you're getting there, you can get there with your heels up. You're close, but you still can't quite get your chest up in that deep bottom position. You can use a wall or, again, the leg of a power rack or something that really isn't going to move to help you get. So you'll get down there, you'll be right close to that wall, but you'll just rest your bum on the wall, again, almost like the assisted deep squat, so that there's something there that you're not really leaning on, but you're just using it to kind of help you get that position. And then again, you're going to add the breathing. In through your nose for 4 seconds, out through your mouth for 6 seconds, trying to relax in that bottom position. And then after all that, you should be able to get into your deep squat position. You can come down here, elbows inside your knees, prying out a little bit, lifting your chest, and again, add some breathing to it. So 4 seconds in through your nose, 6 seconds out through your mouth. Hang out in that position, and then try again, see how you do with the overhead. So there's a little progression to take you from I can't do a deep overhead squat to, now I can get there. If you're working on it consistently and you still can't get there, then it's time to go visit your friendly neighborhood physio, somebody who can look at your hips, look at your thoracic spine, look at your shoulders. Hey, where's the hang up here? Is this a position you should be able to get into but you can't? Or is it just not a position for you? And that's okay too. As long as you know it, then you can always work around it. This is Maria from GoalieTrainingPro.com. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to get the videos before anyone else does, just click subscribe. And if you have any questions or any content you want me to cover, leave a comment below. I read them all, and I'll get that set up for you.